Hi, this is Heston Blackwell. So for my MP3, I did an additional feature that allowed a user to input their preferences and allergies, which would then act as a filter. So it would sort through the different places' descriptions, and using keywords and how well it fit the original filter, it would give it color assignments. I used three main activities, the first being the filter activity. So if we run our app right now, we would just get our maps without any color indicators. But if we click this drop down, it has three sections: allergies, food preferences, and others like religious diets, or if you wanted an alcohol-free place. You could also click non-food if you didn't want to just eat food. So based on whatever you click, the activity will change that into a Boolean array and store that. So for example, if I clicked Chinese, Mexican, and Thai, those would be true while the rest would be false. And I could save that, and that would be sent to our main activity as a Boolean array. And then our main activity would send that to filter. And this filter method will take all of the places as well as that Boolean array and send them to categorize. And what categorize does is kind of based on search, but it will change the original Boolean array into three separate arrays for the allergies, preferences, and other. And it will also take the list descriptions and using keywords for different allergies or preferences, it'll give it a Boolean value for how well, if it indicates something. So for example, and then it'll compare that to the original Boolean arrays. So for example, if you had clicked the gluten indicator, and a gluten indicator was found at this certain place because it had bread in the title, in the description, then it would assign it to the letter R for red, and it was an allergy indicator. And it would do the same for preference. It would take that and add those letters into a string list and send string lists back to main activity. Main activity would take that and send it to update colors. What update colors does is it, based on whatever marker you click, it'll see what letter is assigned and make that indicator visible. So for example, if I had clicked Chinese and Thai and I saved that and refreshed it, I would have to see if I click something that had that indicator or that preference. Oh, I have this Chinese place, so it followed the preference, so I get a green indicator. Now let's say that I only eat halal and I save that, and I look for a place. I get a yellow indicator because they sell burgers and beef, so it would be haram. Now the last one is the allergy, and I added another activity, a warning activity. So let's say I was gluten-free, I would click gluten, and I would save it, refresh, and then if I clicked a place that indicated gluten, oh, this one, the Daily Bite, had sandwiches in its description, so maybe avoid that. It also works on a hierarchy, so let's say that I wanted to eat burgers and I was gluten-free. Unless the description explicitly had gluten-free in it, it would still give me that allergy indicator. So my two problems I had with it was I kept forgetting to add the activities to the Android manifest. But once I figured that out after 3 days, that issue was solved. And then my second was I wanted to originally change the marker colors, but every time I changed the marker colors, it would change the default color. So all of the markers would be the same color, which defeated the purpose. And when I still couldn't figure that out, I decided to shift gears and use indicators instead and changing their visibility. My online resources, I went through the marker documentation, really looking forward to how to change the color and the different methods it offers. And I used like Bitmap, Descriptor Factory, and Stack Overflow as well. And then here is my pushed MP3 final draft to GitHub. I would also want to maybe post the places to server so you could keep your preferences in the app when you come back, as well as maybe a pricing indicator and a place when you add your description. You could also add like, oh, this was a Chinese restaurant and they have nuts in their dishes. And so you could click those, which would make it a little bit more efficient. But yeah.